Alright, I have a question for you all. If I asked you about the most forgettable iPhone release from the past couple of years, what would your answer be? I can think of two iPhones, the iPhone 14 and 16. We'll talk about the iPhone 16 some other day, but let's talk iPhone 14 today. Now, it had the same exact specs as the iPhone 13 but with some minor upgrades. I tried using it in 2026 and even did a bunch of camera comparisons against some recent iPhones to see how it's holding up. Now, one of the biggest gripes I did have with the iPhone 14 is its main 12 megapixel sensor. I thought there was no chance in hell it could compete against the 48 megapixel sensors of some recent iPhones. But turns out I was half wrong. I recently compared it to the iPhone 15 and 17e, and the 14 held its own against those newer iPhones. The iPhone 14 has 12 megapixel cameras all around. Shots taken with it are solid. Nothing exceptional but worth sharing on social media. Compared to recent iPhones, it produces identical shots. The portraits are great. Skin tone, color reproduction, contrast, dynamic range, and highlights are really good. Edge detection does leave a bit to be desired, but that was the case with these newer iPhones as well. The only lacking aspect is the ability to take 2x portraits. I love these and did miss them on the 14. Selfies are decent from the 12 megapixel front camera. Another minor inconvenience the 14 has is the cropped in portrait selfies. I do prefer the wider angle selfies from the iPhone 15 and later. For regular day-to-day shots, I couldn't find any visible differences compared to the iPhone 15 or 17e. The 12 megapixel shots are nearly a replica of the other two iPhones. The only place I find the iPhone 14 lacking is in sharpness and details. That said, after social media compression, the images look nearly the exact same. The ultra-wide camera is good and produces great photos. The results are once again identical to recent iPhones. Now, similar to portrait shots, what I did miss quite a bit is the 2x toggle. Manually zooming to 2x will get you relatively decent results, but sometimes you are in a rush to take the shot, and that's where the 2x toggle comes in handy. Nighttime photos did leave a bit to be desired. The results are decent by themselves, but as soon as we bring some newer iPhones into the picture, we can see some differences. The saturation isn't ideal and the sharpness isn't as good. That said, most of these shots are decent. As for videos, the iPhone 14 is still doing great. Daytime videos are as good as newer iPhones. The colors, dynamic range, contrast, and even stabilization is great. The iPhone 14 also supports cinematic video from the rear camera, which does come in handy for making content. Overall, the iPhone 14 has a solid camera system but does leave a tiny bit to be desired. Another minor con is the design, or more specifically the finish. I hate this glossy back finish, and that too on this black color. It is so tough to keep it clean. That is why I much prefer the frosted finish of these latest iPhones. But it is a minor nitpick, one that can be easily fixed with a case on the phone. Everything else about this iPhone is similar to past Apple releases: the diagonal camera layout, the notch, and the mute switch. I do love the ease of one-handed use and the lightweight feel of the iPhone 14. What did take some getting used to in 2026 specifically is the 60Hz display. Coming from a phone with 120Hz, the 14 did feel stuttery at first, but eventually I did get used to it. Once I got past it, the display is a delight to use. It's plenty bright for outdoor use. It's great at viewing HDR content and doing just about anything you would want on this phone. Oh, and the speakers on this phone are solid, and that continues with the battery life as well. Apple's iOS optimization along with the 60Hz display does mean that this phone will easily last a good chunk of the day. With regular day-to-day use, it's an easy all-day phone. Disclaimer though, this iPhone 14 is brand new, so it is at full 100% battery health. Anything intensive and it will have trouble lasting the full day. This was also one of the last few iPhones with a lightning port, and since I mostly have USB-C cables lying around, I did resort to using MagSafe charging for this phone. Software and performance are aspects where we never have to doubt an iPhone. That said, Apple did take a controversial decision with the iPhone 14. It is powered by the same A15 Bionic chip that was in the iPhone 13, but it is still a powerful chip. It glides through any apps you throw at it. Be it regular social media apps or intensive GPU games, the iPhone 14 shows no signs of slowdown. The exact is true for software. It is running Apple's latest iOS 26.5 version and it's doing so quite smoothly. I don't want to go into detail about iOS, but I do like it here and I feel Apple is doing a decent job. Just like performance, I do expect the iPhone 14 to be supported for at least 3 to 4 years with latest software updates. And that's the iPhone 14 in 2026. While it is a great phone, I can't help but feel it is not a great deal. You could get the iPhone 13 and save some money, or spend a tiny bit more and get the iPhone 15, which does have a better camera system. But let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Subscribe and I'll catch you all soon in the next one.